Good morning, and welcome to another Saturday edition of the Sportsline, being brought to you this morning by my good buddy Tom Vernon and KC Sports Cafe, located right here on South Mount Vernon Avenue in Uniontown, the Firestone Insurance Agency in Normalville, and by Bogies at Duck Hollow. Now under new management. Come on out, enjoy fine dining. Phone 724-439-2150, located at 374 Duck Hollow Road in Uniontown. George Von Benko with you on a very pleasant Saturday morning. Going to get a little wet a little bit later on, but it's pretty nice out there right now. I know you're going to be out and about taking advantage of the nice weather, but I hope you'll pause from your activities to pick up the phone, give us a call. Two-way sports talk, the lifeblood of any sports talk show. Would love to hear from you on a variety of subjects this morning. And to accomplish that, all you have to do is pick up your phone and dial the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line. That number is 724-438-4593. Once again, 724-438-4593. And we do have one line open right now. Let's get to the scoreboard very quickly. In PIAA first-round basketball action last night, in boys 4A, games of interest around here, North Catholic over Sharon, 64-52. In 5A, Chartiers Valley beats Exeter Township 66-42. Hampton falls to Cocalico 61-58. I think that's how you pronounce it. Gateway over Milton Hershey 49-39. Johnstown takes Shaler 68-56. Moon beats Hershey 55-49. Penn Hills downs Meadville 58-45. Thomas Jefferson over New Oxford 66-61. And Ringgold falls to West York 64-57. Boys 1A action. Monessen Greyhounds were beaten by Elk County Catholic last night, 61-29. Girls action. Alderdice knocks off Upper St. Clair in girls 6A, 49-42. Altoona beats Norwin, 59-54, and Cannon McMillan over Governor Mifflin, 48-46. In girls 3A action, Beaver Falls 54, Seneca 52. Northwestern downs Quaker Valley 35-22. Central Cambria beats Our Lady of the Sacred Heart 54-27. Shady Side Academy in overtime gets by Marion Center 63-54. Greensburg Central Catholic beat Cranberry 66-14. And in 2A action, Kennedy Catholic over Rochester, 75-35. Fort Cherry falls to Wilmington, 68-34. It was Chartiers Houston beating Kane, 46-29. Neshannock, 80. Burgettstown, 26. And Keystone downs Aliquippa, 60-45. So that's a look at the PIAA basketball action. We have basketball coming up after the news today, as Geibel Catholic will be in action in the PIAA tournament. And let's see if I can read this. They're taking on St. Joseph's Academy later today. Turning our attention to the rest of the scoreboard in the National Hockey League. Florida Panthers down the Detroit Red Wings 3-1. In a shootout, Colorado over Dallas 5-4. Vancouver beats the Chicago Blackhawks 6-3. Carolina 6, Edmonton 3. In a shootout, Anaheim takes Montreal 6-5. Overtime, St. Louis nips San Jose 3-2. And Minnesota beats the Vegas Golden Knights by a score of 4-2. In the NBA, Boston Celtics beat the Dallas Mavericks 120-100. Miami over Charlotte 128-120. Houston takes Portland 106-99. New York Knicks 142, Denver Nuggets 103. Phoenix 118, New Orleans 116. San Antonio beats the LA Clippers 116-112. And the LA Lakers take Indiana 128-117. Top 25 college basketball action last night in the Big East. Number 18, St. John's, knocks off Seton Hall 72-65. Number 19, Miami of Ohio, completes an undefeated regular season, finishing at 31-0. In overtime, they take Ohio U 110-108. Things got ugly at the end of the game. Expect some punishment for the Red Hawks with their behavior at the end of that ball game. And that is a look at our scoreboard. I will tell you, in Grapefruit League action yesterday, that the Philadelphia Phillies beat the Pirates 14-10. So that's a good look at the scoreboard. Let's turn our attention to sports obituaries. One to report this morning from the world of college football. Lou Holtz, the former Notre Dame football head coach who led the team to a national title in 1988, has died. Family announced this on Wednesday. He was 89 years old. Holtz coached Notre Dame from 1986 to 1996, winning 100 games with the school, including a 23-game win streak and the school's first back-to-back 12-win seasons. Fighting Irish finished the 88 season at 12-0, capping it off with a win in the 1989 Fiesta Bowl, becoming the consensus national champion. Holtz also had coaching stints at William & Mary, Arkansas, Minnesota, and South Carolina, along with one season at the helm of the New York Jets in the NFL. He won 249 games total in his college career across 33 seasons. Lou Holtz passing away at the age of 89 years old. Okay, we've got open line conversation for most of the show today. Your chance to get up on the soapbox and be heard. Whatever you would like to talk about pertaining to the world of sports, it is on the docket. All you have to do is call the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line at 724-438-4593. We're going to talk NFL draft and the Steelers in hour number 2. One of my favorite guests, Steelers beat writer from the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, Ray Fittipaldo, will join me at 11:30. We'll open up the phone lines, get into some great open line sports talk, but first, we're going to pay the light bill. Let's take a time out here on the Sportsline.
On the next edition of The Catholic Accent, we're sharing simple ways to make your Lenten journey more meaningful this season. The Diocesan Lenten Appeal is officially underway, inviting you to help keep our parishes vibrant and thriving, just as they have been for the past 75 years. And as the Diocese of Greensburg celebrates its 75th Diamond Anniversary, we'll show you how you can be part of the celebration. Watch The Catholic Accent Sunday morning at 11:30 on WPXI.
You can go to Big Box Medical Office.
Now serving number 3,943.
Or,
hi, come on in. How are you?
For personal, professional health care you can trust, see Dr. Paul Hardley and nurse practitioners Tara Bozek, Jessica Reckhart, and Stacy Morris, proudly serving our community for over 30 years. Need care today? Walk-ins are always welcome. For your primary care, call Dr. Paul Hartley at 724-437-1109 or visit ppcp.org. Or
serving number 3,944.
For 35 years, Fay Penn Economic Development Council has been committed to its mission of growing Fayette County's economy and helping to bring jobs to the area. Whether you're a startup, existing, or new business in Fayette County, Fay Penn's lending team can work with you to decide if the Fay Penn Loan Fund suits your business's needs. Fay Penn's Loan Fund offers loans starting at $10,000, pending qualifications. Visit faypenn.org to learn more about financing opportunities for your business and to complete a pre-application form.
Ready to score big on your next home? Well, great news. Huge savings are waiting for you at Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon. From open floor plans perfect for game day parties to energy-efficient homes that will help you save money all season long, these homes are built to deliver. Don't wait on the sidelines. Make the winning play today and find the home that fits your family and lifestyle. Visit Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon at 4500 Route 51.
Hi everyone, this is Kelly Clark with Autoland Hyundai in downtown Uniontown. 724-208-5281. What makes buying your next vehicle for me worthwhile? I make it a very easy 5-step process. You look, you shop, you ask, you decide. And I listen. Kelly Clark, Autoland Hyundai, 724-208-5281. 724-208-5281. Kelly Clark, Autoland Hyundai. I'll make you a good deal.
If you're an athlete, you know the importance of a strong recovery. NovaCare provides several athletic training programs geared toward athletic-related injuries and collaborates with Albert Gallatin, Uniontown, Fraser, California, Jefferson Morgan, Waynesburg, West Green, and Mapletown school districts to help student athletes stay at their best. From coordinating additional specialist care to treating on-site injuries, their experts cater to your personal needs. Specialized services include concussion diagnosis and rehabilitation and treatment for sport-specific injuries. For more information on athletic training at NovaCare, visit novacare.com or contact your local office today.
WMBS. Hi, this is Bob Walk, and you're listening to the Sportsline with George Von Benko on your local station, WMBS Uniontown.
And welcome back to the Sportsline on this Saturday morning. Before we go to the phone lines, one other score I did want to pass along from last night. Locally, West Virginia closed out their regular season, and the Mountaineers defeated University of Central Florida last night, 77-62. So in Ross Hodges' first season in Morgantown, they finished the regular season at 18-13, 9-9 in the Big 12, and actually could have been a little bit better. They suffered some really devastating losses coming down the stretch that could have placed them in better position, but for having to rebuild the entire roster and in his first year, all in all, I don't think it was that bad of a season at West Virginia. Their chances of getting into the tournament were severely hampered by a couple of those late season losses, and now they would have to make a big run in the Big 12 tournament to get into the NCAA tournament, I think. And, of course, this is the final weekend of the college basketball regular season. The conference tournaments get underway next week. Let's go to the phone lines. Take our first phone call of the morning. Good morning. You're on the Sports Line.
Good morning, George.
Charles, how are you?
I'm okay. George, I'm hoping and rooting, but if I fear for my green and white today because of being underlated in this case. And, the big tall girl is...
Clemmer. Yeah, Clemmer. Yeah.
There's only one or two players on the Godwell bench, I think.
Well, they played the last game in the WPL Championship with one player on their bench.
And they almost won that.
No, they gave... I really thought they didn't have much of a chance without Clemmer, and they played them tooth and nail and gave them a really, really good game. Yeah.
And the funny thing is, George, Godwell's 21-2, each loss has been by 1 point. They lost twice to Sarah, but yet they beat them down in White Oak by more than, I beat them by about 10 points down there.
Mm-hmm.
Strange season. But we'll see. So that game's what on it?
The pregame show starts after the news at noon, and then I think tip-off is at 1 p.m.
Okay. George, isn't it amazing how you can go 162-0 and win a world championship in spring training? Everything is roses.
Well, you know my feelings on spring training.
Yeah, I know that.
I love going down there. I love the weather, and I like the access that you used to be able to have. Not necessarily like it used to be to the players, but it's a little bit more relaxed in spring training. But no championship was ever won in the Grapefruit League or the Cactus League.
That's good. Although in 1971, the Pirates were also the Grapefruit champions of the world.
It happens every once in a while, but usually I don't consider spring training numbers to be a barometer of how you're going to play in the regular season. And then how many times have we seen spring training phenoms, and then when they get into the regular season, they fizzle out? There have been numerous guys like that,
George, I don't know if maybe I said it on this show already, but I'll say it again. I do not want Connor Griffith on the team at the start of the season.
Well, I think they're leaning that way. If you listen to what Donnie Kelly has said, he thinks he needs a little experience at AAA.
What was it? Coach Holliday said 1,500 bats?
Yeah, I mean, he's only got like 400 or 500 right
now.
Yeah.
Because, look
what they did to Tom's grandson. They brought Jackson up too soon.
You beat me to the punch. I was getting ready to say that. No, you see, George, some of those sports writers down in Pittsburgh, they're too doggone impulsive. Everything right away. Everything's going to work out okay. He's ready to do this, ready to do that. I'm sure I'm not telling you anything you don't know. The toughest job, physically, psychologically, is to make the jump from the minor leagues, what would have been AAA to the big leagues.
Oh, I don't think there's any question about that. And as far as what people are saying and the opinions of some of these people, I tend to listen to people like Tom Holliday rather than them. I think Tom knows a lot more baseball than those people do. And I listen to the scouts who tell me other things. I prefer to listen to those voices.
Yeah, it's, people are too impulsive. Oh, he's doing this and that in spring training.
And I think Tom has a great window into it, having two grandsons who are top picks.
Yep.
Now, he thinks that Colorado is not going to make the same mistake with Ethan that Baltimore made with Jackson. He thinks Ethan is going to get a chance to hone his skills in the minor leagues before Colorado brings him up.
I think I've told you this before. Granted, it's been a long time ago, and the overall picture in baseball was a lot different. But in 1959, the San Francisco Giants had a rookie first baseman named Willie McCovey, who had been in the Giants minor leagues for 7 years.
Stretch.
And boy, but when those guys come up, they knew how to play.
Yeah, just ask Steve Blass about Willie McCovey.
It was good. Who made sure Willie McCovey was going to pay for Blass's limousine to get him beer.
Right.
Well,
there were two guys that loved it when Blass pitched, McCovey and Billy Williams.
And the other 44 did pretty. Mr. Aaron did pretty good against Blass too.
Yes, he
but
did.
Anyway, I'm hoping, but as I said before, and I'll say it again, I'll believe the Pirates when I see the number under the W a lot larger than the number under the L.
Well, and they still haven't been able to solve the other problem at third base, and I'm not happy about that.
No. George, I want to move on. I hope we don't have a fortune-flipping incident for our Pens, with the double whammy of Crosby being out and then Malkin going on a temper tantrum the other
Well,
night.
it was ill-advised, and it's going to cost him 5 games, and Crosby is out. And they're in the period after the Olympics where they're going to be playing a ton of games and a lot of back-to-backs. This is going, and let me tell you, they're not. They're sitting right now with 75 points. They're in second place, actually tied for second place behind the Hurricanes in the Metropolitan Division. They're tied with the Islanders at 75, but let's look at the rest of it. If they go on a little bit of a slump right now, Columbus has 72 points, Washington has 69, and the Flyers have 67. Those teams are breathing right down their necks.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say, George. Look at the upcoming schedule, and it's murder. They have back-to-back home games this week against Philadelphia and Boston. But look, when they go out on the road, what is it? Carolina, Dallas, and Utah, or something like that.
Yeah. So I mean, no, this is a very interesting period right now because everything that they've done to this point could blow up right in their faces. This is a very touchy period for them right now.
Sure, and this just puts more pressure on the youngsters. And on your bottom six too. Your third and fourth line. But of course, George, that's one of Malkin's shortcomings. He can't control his temper, and it's really.
Well, I had somebody say that shouldn't happen. I said, put yourself in these shoes. What if it had been Malkin that somebody did that to? You would have been screaming your heads off. I mean, he slashed that guy right in the face.
Yeah, George. That's serious. That's life-threatening. I mean, you're good. I mean, it's a different sport. But I remember years ago when Willie Stargell was playing for the Pirates. Yet he was hit by a pitch. I think it was up in Montreal. Usually Stargell doesn't get mad, but Stargell said, "When you throw up around my head, you're messing with more than me. You're messing with my family." And this is what Malkin did. He went right after the shoulders and head of that guy. That could have been very, very dangerous. But he's got 5 games, and I think that's about right, don't you? 5 games.
I think it is. Looking at the way they've handed out punishment for things like that in the past, I think that's the right amount. I do.
George,
it was that serious. It was. Yeah.
I wanted to ask you too. What's your thoughts on this Miami of Ohio business?
Well, hey, I'm not going to look down my nose at going undefeated during the regular season. That is not easy to do. I don't care what level you're playing at. And usually the Mid-American Conference is very, very good, but they've been down a little bit this year. But when they've been pressed, they won. I think they won 7 games by 3 points or less, and a few in overtime. And they had a really tough test last night in overtime at Ohio U, a tough place to play where they had lost 14 games in a row to Ohio U, and they prevailed in overtime. Now, their actions after the game were reprehensible.
I didn't see that, but
you don't act like idiots and flip the bird at the home crowd and do all sorts of things. It was bad, and there's liable to be some punishment for it.
But still, I don't think that should exclude him.
No, I don't either.
Because I was thinking of that this morning, George. You know, they say Miami's schedule wasn't that good. They're not the worst team that's been in a tournament in the last 10. There are teams in there with records under 500.
Yeah. No, I think that, to me, that's not a point that you can really successfully defend with me. 31-0 is 31-0.
Yeah. It's I did. Duquesne in West Virginia.
Neither one. They both have to win their tournaments to get in.
Yeah. It's going to be hard for both of them. It's going to be real hard for West Virginia.
Oh, in that conference? Yeah.
I mean, they're in there against Arizona and Kansas and Texas Tech and
Yeah.
Although Hodges, all things considered, Hodges broke even in Morgantown. 9-9.
9-9 in the conference, and it could have been better. They lost. They should have never lost to Utah. They had a couple of losses to Kansas State, which makes me scratch my head. There were several. They could have been. They could have very easily had 10 or 11 wins in the conference, and those losses hurt them. But having to totally rebuild your roster and do what he did in his first year, I think it was a good first step.
And Duquesne just doesn't, Duquesne just doesn't have enough.
No, but they did have one signature road win at George Mason.
Yeah.
But now, don't forget, the Atlantic 10 tournament is going to be played in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, at the PPG.
Right.
Yeah. But still, didn't Duquesne get a whole lot out of the transfer portal this year? Is that, yeah?
They got some. They were able to retain a couple of players as well. Yeah.
But that's just a mid-major school. When you're up against, the big giants, it's pretty hard. And the last thing I'll say as I go out, I'm not all that concerned that the Baltimore Ravens picked up Matt Crosby from the Raiders, because, what was it, about 2 or 3 years ago, everybody thought that Baltimore was going to run away with that division when they got Derrick Henry from the Titans. And still,
Well, let's put it this way. I can't throw stones at Derrick Henry. He's done everything that he could do for Baltimore because he's been great. Crosby is going to strengthen. There's no doubt about that because they had problems with their pass rush last year. He instantly improves their pass rush.
But, Derrick Henry made their running game, and still, anymore in the AFC North, George, it always seems to come down to Baltimore and the Steelers, although it would be nice to see what would happen if Joe Burrow didn't get hurt.
Well, if Joe Burrow had some offensive linemen in front of him, and their biggest problem, those on the other side of the ball, their defense is absolutely atrocious. I mean, they scored 30-some points in several games last year and lost.
They just barely beat the Steelers out in Cincinnati,
Right. Yeah.
And they gave up 31 in that game.
Yeah.
But it's going to be. Well, George, my time is up, so that's all I have to say. And thanks, and I'll see you again next week.
All right, Charles, you take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
And that frees up both of our phone lines. Great time for you to jump into the sports conversation. I'm gazing at a wide open board. Do come ahead with your questions and comments. Your chance to get up on that soapbox and be heard. Simply pick up the phone and dial the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line, 724-438-4593. Once again, that number, 724-438-4593. That's your ticket to conversation here on the Sports Line. Back to the phone lines we go. Good morning. You're on the Sports Line.
Good morning, George.
Good morning.
This is Mark from Republic calling.
How are things over in Republic?
Oh, let me see. Let's see. I got 79 degrees on my weather station, and it's sunny.
Well, that's good, and you're keeping that Indiana Hoosier fan under control over there after they won the national championship. No more celebrations.
Yeah, I think so. It's all quiet on the Western Front.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I just want to talk about a great Steeler that I really loved. He just passed away a couple weeks ago.
Mike White.
Yeah. Man, I can't believe it. I can't get over it. He was an 11th round draft. I didn't know they drafted people that low.
Well, the draft used to be much larger back in those days.
Yeah. I tell you, George, what's frozen in his mind is that Rocky Balboa moment when he intercepted that ball from America's team, thrown by the All-American born Fayette County. We know who that was.
Mm-hmm.
That interception off of Roger Staubach.
Yep.
You know.
Well,
how he returned.
He had a knack for interceptions in big games. He also had an interception, I believe, in their first Super Bowl win over the Vikings off of Fran Tarkenton.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I just that was just so tremendous. I mean, when Roger Staubach throws that ball, you know it's going to be caught, and guys will be running down the field, and all of a sudden it's out of the air, and he's headed towards the end zone.
Well, Mike was one of my favorite guys to talk to in that locker room, and so well respected by his other teammates, and he was struggling here in recent years. He had been very ill, and he was battling that, and I was very saddened by his passing, but it did not come as a surprise because I knew what he was going through. You know.
Yeah. Well, hey, those pros they get their bodies beat up, over the years. Yeah. Hey, what's happened to? I guess the Fayette County Football League has gone by the boards, huh?
Well, teams are going back to the WPI. Well, they weren't going to let that happen anyway. We couldn't play for a championship. We couldn't have a championship game because the WPIL and the PIAA wouldn't sanction it. So they threw roadblocks up all along the way. So football is going to be what football is, and I hope it improves, but I have my doubts.
Yeah. I mean, when you're going up these schools that put the money into the programs, and they got transfers to them, you ain't gonna go much headway against those folks.
No, there's still a couple of schools that are not going back, but for the most part, it is what it is, and football. I don't know if we'll ever return to the glory years. I really don't.
Yeah. I guess not, George. Okay, George, that's all I got for you today.
All right. Thank you for your call. I appreciate
it.
Right. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Let's take another call real quick here on the Sports Line. Back to the lines. Good morning. You're on the Sports Line.
Hi, George. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
Great, beautiful weather, and this is the kind of weather I'm enjoying right here. Now, George,
enjoy it before the rain comes, because we're going to get a lot of rain here in the next portion of this weekend and into next week.
Well, George, just hope it ain't like the snow we got in '93, the St. Patrick's Day blizzard right there. I mean, I'll take the rain over that one big giant snowstorm.
I don't need any more snow. No.
Yes, sir. This World's Baseball Classic. I'm really liking this right here. Some good competition, and these guys are playing. For keeps right there. And this American.
They're playing for their countries. I watched a little bit of Puerto Rico and Colombia last night, and it was entertaining baseball.
Japan and Korea was good last night too. I mean, that was a heck of a game. Korea gave all their run for the money right there. Mm-hmm. But this United States team right here, this is almost like the dream team what they put together, for the basketball back in 92. You got two teams you could roll out there. Pitching is fantastic. This is a team right here. And, no matter what lineup that the coach puts out there, the guy from the MLB network, and, either team he puts out there can win, and it's a heck of a team right there. And what's the one good thing about it, too, there's a lot of Pirates being involved in it. Be almost a game-like situation and hope it, like Cruz and a few others, help them when they get back to camp, and, but with the Pirates so far this year, I kind of enjoy the enthusiasm right now. There seems like there's a togetherness on that team. Something that they haven't had since Clint Hurdle was there. So, I just hope it just goes on to the regular season, that these guys are playing good, hard, good baseball. And, I'm not really satisfied with, some of the positions there, but it's, I just hope it just, goes on into the season. And George, I might be predicting, and this might be, what I see so far, and I could be wrong. I've always predicted them to lose 90 games. I could take them into either being close to a 500 team or an 82 win team this year if they can score some runs for the pitching staff. And, that can carry them over. I can think that that could be at least what they have, 71 wins last year.
Mm-hmm.
I think it could take them at least 10 more wins. You figured the game Skeens had last year, and they never held up wins. Skeens could have won at least 16 games.
I think they're going to score some more runs. Unfortunately, I think they're going to give up some runs because this is not a good defensive club. Not by any stretch of the imagination.
Well, even too, somewhere in the middle bullpen too, George. I think there's weaknesses in there. Now, what's the word on this guy they got from Cincinnati for Nicholas? Is this a reclamation project, or is this somebody they're taking a chance on? Or
he's young. He was hurt. They're looking for depth because the infield is not what they want it to be, I think, and they didn't get a third baseman. They're just looking for some depth in the infield right now.
Now, what do you think? McCutcheon signing with Texas. Now, but what I read, I could be wrong, that McCutcheon wants to be an everyday outfielder. The guy.
Well, good luck with that. I'm not sure whether his legs could take being an everyday outfielder.
But even, too, I'm going to say from the team Texas fell down on when they went to the World Series that year. I'm just saying to put McCutcheon in an outfield position, I don't know. I just don't, I can't figure that out. Hey, I enjoyed him in Pittsburgh. He did a lot for this team, and hey, he'll never go out as being, someone that put his heart out for the game. But it was time, George. He can't come down on this organization.
Well, the death knell for him was when they got Osuna, because Osuna is strictly a DH. He can't play the outfield anymore. That spelled the end of McCutcheon. It did.
At least if he can give you 20 home runs, McCutcheon wasn't going to give you 20 home runs. And, at least he can give you at least 20 on a minimum right there. And, I think, O'Hearn, I think he's a good pickup. And, if those three guys can put some numbers up and just hopefully Cruz can get his head out of where, and other than that, just hope the, smaller bats like Trio and, whatever they put in there can, Brian Reynolds, has a good year again. And, I don't know. And Joey Bart or, Henry Davis can get out of his hitting slump, and I don't know, George. It's just going to be how they're going to be offensively. And, if they're
I think they're going to be better offensively. Unfortunately, I think they're going to be really bad defensively. And that doesn't help your pitching staff. You got good pitching. You want good defense,
Well, I think Donnie Kelly, I'm not going to say he's going to be the cure, but I think he's going to try to emphasize this a little more than what Shelton did or anybody else. I think
he can only do so much. You can't make a good player a good defensive player if he's not a good defensive player. You just, that you can't. What's the old saying? You can't make a silk purse out of a sow's ear defensively.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
But I just say, George, I mean, if I could go at least, 9 to 10 more wins better than what they did, and, hopefully that they can put up at least a record right there where maybe free agents in the future does want to come here,
Well, that's very problematic because the reputation of Pirates ownership amongst baseball players is very, very low. Very low.
Ain't that the truth? Hey, one last question I want to ask you. Now, I missed what Malkin did. Was that in a fight or was that?
He slashed the guy in the crease across the neck.
I say, well, how much of a suspension did he get?
5 games. That's how serious it was. When you hit somebody up like that near their head and slash them across the neck, that's very serious.
Well, that's like I say, and that's going to hurt that team right now. I mean,
it's the worst possible time with Crosby out.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, but even too now, that I didn't think, even though when Crosby off, Malkin did, put up a little bit better numbers, but he's not the leader. He's not the leader, Sidney Crosby. And when Crosby's on the ice,
but
it's
historically, Malkin has usually picked up his game when Crosby's been out of the lineup. And now you're not going to have that. And they're coming into this stretch of games after the Olympics where they're playing all these games and they've got all these back-to-backs. This is going to be a very, very tough stretch for the Penguins, and they're without some of their best people. And, let's face it, even though they have played really well, they've got 75 points, as I pointed out to Charles earlier, they're not out of the woods. They're tied with the Islanders with 75 points in the Metropolitan Division, and you look at what's right behind them. Columbus has 72, Washington has 69, and the Flyers, who they're playing today, have 67. So those teams are breathing right down their necks.
And plus, too, George, ain't they going on I guess West Coast trip out to Vegas and all that? Ain't they going on that one this week or something?
Well, they have some games in Utah. They got Dallas coming up. So they've got a tough stretch coming up. Well, this weekend is tough. Back-to-back games with the Flyers and the Bruins.
Right. Yeah, and I'm just saying the history of the Bruins, they have a hard time beating them. But. Yeah. Like I say, the Crosby injury I could say it's Malkin's, stupidity right there. It's going to hurt the team, and just going to see if these young players can pick up. Now, this guy they got from Detroit, George, you think he's able to help? I know they say he's 6'8" or something like that.
He is a big forward, has a great shot. He's not very physical for his size. And he's not a great skater. But what he does give you is a presence in front of the net. He's not afraid to go in that area in front of the net. So he's going to help them a little bit, but certainly he's not going to make up for Malkin and Crosby. No.
Well, right, I like I say, George, I just hope he comes out to be the guy they got from the Russian they got from Columbus. And, Muse turned his game around, and hope, Muse can pull the magic with him, and, just hope that some of these guys can step up for, another at least. I just hope Sid ain't out longer than what he is going to be, and that 4-week, that month, prognosis. I just hope it ain't longer. Sooner Sid can get back, the better, but it's going to be a long stretch for him, George. It's where this team is going to show. And I hated to see this all happen right here, just because this team was, just went over above their predictions and all that for 70. They expected this team at the beginning of the year to be one of these.
They overachieved, but now they're up against a tough stretch, and it'll be interesting to see how they respond. Yeah. Listen, I appreciate the call. You take care.
Thanks for taking my call. You have a good week. Talk to you next week.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye. And that frees up both of our phone lines if you want to jump into the conversation. Dial the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line, 724-438-4593, 724-438-4593. We'll be back with more right after this.
Wind, hail, sudden leaks. When your roof takes a beating, we're here for you at AOR Roofing and Remodeling. We're a locally and veteran-owned contractor, available 24/7 for repairs. As an Owens Corning Platinum Preferred Contractor, we get the job done right. Call 724-550-3064 or visit arremodels.com for your free estimate.
You may have noticed a new internet company knocking at your door with claims like, "I'm not here to sell you anything," or "I wouldn't lie to you." The truth is, Armstrong has played an important role in your community for decades, and we're not going anywhere. That new internet provider will probably change their name, get bought out by another company, or fold completely. Armstrong, the internet you count on, the people you trust. Visit ArmstrongOneWire.com today or anytime in the future.
Fallen in love with a house? Head over heels for a home plan? Take the plunge. Apply for a mortgage loan with First Federal Savings and Loan of Greene County. Feeling commitment shy? Complete a mortgage pre-qualification. It's simple. 100% online, and you'll get a personalized answer within one business day. Then save the date for a move-in day or groundbreaking and put a key ring on it. Apply online at ffgc.bank. First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 458729.
Unlock the energy at Live Casino Pittsburgh during the Spring ZDX giveaway. Play daily to earn entries toward our giveaway drawings on March 27th and 28th, where you could win a share of over $55,000 in prizes, or race away in a new 2026 Acura ZDX all-wheel drive EV. Get charged up for the Acura ZDX giveaway on March 27th and 28th, only at Live Casino Pittsburgh. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Chris Parker Jr., what's going on at Auto Lane Hyundai?
0% financing is back. How about 0% for 60 months on 2026 all-wheel drive Hyundai Tucsons and Santa Fe? Or HMS bonus cash up to $4,000 on Santa Fe Hybrid. The only thing lower than 0% are the below zero temperatures we've had.
You're right about that.
With great Hyundai financing, over 100 new Hyundais in stock, and affordable vehicles like the 2026 Venue Crossover and award-winning Elantra, it's easy to get away during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
Any leasing deals?
Lease a 26 Elantra SE for $199 per month, or 26 Kona SE Crossover for $219 a month. Just see us for details.
Plus Hyundai Assurance, America's best warranty, 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain protection, 5-year unlimited miles roadside assistance. Auto Lane Hyundai, 25 East Fayette Street, downtown Uniontown, or visit their website at AutoLaneHyundai.com.
And remember, you'll always pay less to drive the best at Autoland Hyundai.
Laurel Highlands Wealth Advisory Group of Janie Montgomery Scott in Uniontown is a proud sponsor of Sportsline. When you work with Janie, it's about going beyond investing. It's about connecting your life and your finances in a way that makes sense for you. The team partners with you through each stage of life to help you set and reach your financial goals. To learn more about the Laurel Highlands Wealth Advisory Group at Janie, be sure to check out their website at www.lhwag.com. Laurel Highlands Wealth Advisory Group of Janie Montgomery Scott, LLC, member FINRA, NYSE, SIPC.
Casey Sports Cafe, located at 243 South Mount Vernon Avenue in Uniontown and owned by the Vernon family, wants you to know they have new hours. Monday and Friday from 7 to 3, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday 7 to 7, and Saturday and Sunday 7 to 2. Come on into Casey's and check out their new menu ideas and entrees. They can also cater your next event. Whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, Casey's is the place to eat. Call 724-550-4126. Casey's, the best in Fayette County.
This is Pittsburgh Steelers Hall of Famer Coach Dick LeBeau. You're listening to the Sportsline with George Von Benko on WMBS.
And always great to hear the dulcet tones of one of my favorite coaches, Dick LeBeau, one of the best. We're moving down the home stretch here in hour number one of the Sportsline. Time to stick in maybe a call or two here at the end of hour number one, if you so desire. Pick up the phone, dial the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line, 724-438-4593. We have more open talk coming up after the news here at the top of the hour. And then Ray Fittipaldo, Steelers beat writer from the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette will join me at 11:30. We'll talk Steelers offseason and the upcoming NFL draft. We just had the Combine in Indianapolis, so some good stuff coming up from Ray Fittipaldo at 11:30. Final weekend of the college basketball regular season. Conference tournaments begin next week, and big games all over the place today, starting with one of the greatest rivalries ever in college basketball. Number 17, North Carolina at number 1, Duke. That's at 6:30. Number 4, UConn at Marquette at 12:30 today. Number 5, Florida at Kentucky at 4 p.m. We have number 10, Texas Tech at BYU. That's at 10:30 tonight. Interstate rivalry, Virginia Tech at number 13, Virginia at 12 noon. Another interstate rivalry, Kansas State at number 14, Kansas at 2 p.m. In the Big Ten, Wisconsin at number 15, Purdue at 4 p.m. How about Auburn at Alabama for an in-state rivalry? The 16th ranked Alabama hosting Auburn at 8:30 tonight. Those are just some of the big games around the country on the final weekend of the regular season in college basketball. That puts a capper on hour number 1 of the Sportsline. Another hour to go. The Sportsline being brought to you this morning by my good buddy Tom Vernon and KC Sports Cafe, located right here on South Mount Vernon Avenue in Uniontown, the Firestone Insurance Agency in Normalville, and by Bogies at Duck Hollow, now under new management. Come on out. Enjoy fine dining. Phone 724-439-2150, located at 374 Duck Hollow Road in Uniontown. The news is coming your way next from the CBS Radio Network right here on your local station, 590 AM and 101.1 FM, WMBS, Uniontown, Pennsylvania.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Allison Keyes. President Trump just gave an update on the state of the war with Iran, saying that nation will be hit very hard today. CBS's Stacey Lynn with the latest.
While addressing a summit of Latin American leaders in Doral, Florida, the president said he's pleased with the military operation so far.
It's something that had to be done, and we're doing it well.
Grading it on a scale of 0 to 10.
About a 15, I would say, with 10 being the best.
He acknowledged the 6 U.S. service members killed in duty,
Coming home in a different manner than they thought they'd be coming home.
calling them great heroes. Stacey Lynn, CBS News, Washington.
This as the Trump administration approves a new $151 million arms sale to Israel. CBS's Matt Gutman is on the ground in Tel Aviv as rising deaths are being reported in Israel, Iran, and Lebanon.
This morning, with Tehran's sky glowing orange after Israeli warplanes bombed the city's Merhaban airport, Iran's president vowing never to surrender. That defiance to the onslaught and the constant echoes of explosions in Iran's capital came hours after Israel struck the Iranian regime's primary wartime bunker. Israel said it dropped 100 munitions in a fiery instant.
The price of oil is skyrocketing amid the U.S.-Israeli attacks on Iran, and it is affecting travelers. CBS's Michael Wallace explains.
Jet fuel prices are near $4 a gallon, up from $2.50 a gallon the day before the war with Iran started. To compensate, airlines began raising their fares this week, especially for seats in business and first class. Some carriers have also added fuel surcharges to ticket prices on some long-haul international flights.
The Trump administration is blaming a mistake for the delayed release of more Jeffrey Epstein files. CBS's Scott McFarlane explains.
More than 2 months after the deadline for the full release of the case files of convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, the Department of Justice has released another batch, and the agency is acknowledging to CBS News there were errors in the processing and release of some files in this case.
At least 6 people died in tornadoes overnight, 4 of them in Michigan. CBS's Omar Villafranca.
A Michigan community ravaged Friday when a funnel cloud plowed through homes.
sending roofs flying into the air.
Oh, Menard's roof just blew off.
The path of destruction was evident in the town of Three Rivers, which took a direct hit.
I was having a pretty nice day until this happened.
Portland residents near an ICE building have won a court order limiting the use of tear gas during protest at the facility. People in an affordable housing complex sued after months of exposure to tear gas that has made some tenants sick. They have trouble breathing. This is CBS.
Go to the ends of the earth, half a world away. Reach for the stars.
If I take time to think, they might go get Brad.
On CBS, Sunday morning.
Route 21 Furniture. Take the road to your perfect home.
Sleep well tonight. Try out a new mattress from Route 21 Furniture with a large selection of mattresses, all sizes and comfort levels, with great prices, free local delivery and setup, and financing options. Route 21 Furniture. Open weekdays 9 to 5, Saturday 10 to 5, Sunday noon to 4. 724-737-2222 or Route21Furniture.com.
Route 21 Furniture. Take the road to your perfect home.
Ready to score big on your next home? Well, great news. Huge savings are waiting for you at Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon. From open floor plans perfect for game day parties to energy-efficient homes that will help you save money all season long, these homes are built to deliver. Don't wait on the sidelines. Make the winning play today and find the home that fits your family and lifestyle. Visit Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon at 4500 Route 51.
The former football coach at the University of Michigan has reached a plea deal in a home invasion case.
Former Michigan Wolverines head coach Sharon Moore has pleaded no contest to 2 misdemeanors in a criminal case that arose immediately after he was fired for having an inappropriate relationship with his executive assistant. The judge asks Moore,
Now you understand that by pleading no contest, you'll not have a trial of any kind. Yes, sir.
Moore was initially charged in December with third-degree felony home invasion as well as misdemeanor counts of stalking and breaking and entering. Sentencing is scheduled for April 14th. Jennifer Kuiper, CBS News.
It's that time of year again, and of course we mean daylight saving time. Most of the nation springs forward, but experts warn that losing an hour of sleep might not only make you tired and cranky, it could affect your health. Darker mornings and more light at night make a mess of your body clock, which could disrupt your sleep for weeks. Daylight saving time begins at 2 a.m. tomorrow, local time. Try to get more sunshine. Allison Keyes, CBS News.
Are you looking to list or sell your house? Now is the time to let the professionals at Caldwell Banker Laurel Ridge Realty help you with all of your real estate needs. Caldwell Banker Laurel Ridge Realty has 2 convenient locations to better serve you. In Uniontown area, 724-437-7100, or in Connellsville area, 724-628-7200, and speak with one of our real estate professionals. Visit our website, caldwellbanker.com. We have been proudly serving Western Pennsylvania area for over 30 years and look forward to helping you with all of your real estate needs. Broker Paul Bortz Jr.
Go to Ford of Uniontown and trade me in.
It's Dominic Carbone with Jessica Caringla with your 7-time President Award-winning Ford of Uniontown. Truck Month is on the horizon, and we're kicking this thing off with a bang. Running all the way to the end of March, and we're talking massive savings.
How massive?
Well, I'm glad you asked. Take up to $8,000 off select F-150s or $6,000 off with interest rates at 2.9 for 60 months, 3.9 for 72, and only 4.9 for 84 months.
And that's not all. We got deals on Super Duties, Mavericks, and Rangers. Just stop, click, or call for details. Here at Ford of Uniontown, our commitment is to make sure you have the best experience, not only buying a vehicle, but getting it serviced as well. That's why we offer online maintenance appointments and free pickup and delivery.
Your truck knows, shouldn't you? That's Ford of Uniontown on the hill across from Applebee. 724-425-5980 or FordofUniontown.com.
Price excludes taxes and transfer fees, must finance with Ford Credit, and not all buyers will qualify.
For economy, price, and quality service, call Economy Furnace.
Don't rely on luck when it comes to your tax return. Hot days are on the way. Time to swap out that old air conditioner and stay cool all season long. Turning your tax return into an HVAC upgrade is a very smart move. As we spring ahead into summer heat, don't let your tax return sit idle. Invest in a home comfort system and enjoy comfort and savings for years to come. Our partnership with Amana means you can enjoy top-of-the-line quality and unbeatable efficiency. Not yet ready to replace? Remember to schedule a clean and tune-up for efficiency and longevity. Don't forget about those dirty ducts. Easy Air Professional Duct Cleaning will get the job done right with improved air quality and energy savings. Contact us today at 724-438-4575 for a free consultation to maximize your tax return, then enjoy a comfortable, healthy, and cool spring and summer.
For economy, price, and quality service, call Economy Furnace.
Spring flowers are right around the corner, and so is prom season at Patty's Bridal. We have a prom sale you won't want to miss. All prom dresses are 50% off. That's right, not 10 or 20%, 50%. Every single prom dress at Patty's, located at the Uniontown Mall, is marked down now. Don't wait, as they will go fast. Find the dress that will make your prom night magical at Patty's Bridal, open daily from 11 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. or call at 724-439-1168.
Well, much cooler temperatures are here, but you could still enjoy your deck or patio with retractable or fixed awnings from Lifetime Awnings. Made in the USA with manufacturer and customer guarantees, Lifetime Awnings products last. Lifetime Awnings is veteran-owned and operated with a 10% discount to all military veterans and their families. Call Lifetime Awnings, 724-554-6067 for a no-cost or obligation home consultation. Or email John, the owner, at lifetimeawningsusa@gmail.com.
Your local station, WMBS.
Welcome back on board for hour number 2 of the Sportsline, being brought to you this morning by my good friend Tom Vernon and KC Sports Cafe, located right here on South Mount Vernon Avenue in Uniontown, the Firestone Insurance Agency in Normalville, and by Bogies at Duck Hollow, now under new management. Come on out, enjoy fine dining. Phone 724-439-2150, located at 374 Duck Hollow Road in Uniontown. George Von Benko with you as we forge ahead into our second hour, and we continue in the open line mode. Your chance to get up on that soapbox and be heard. Anything and everything pertaining to the world of sports is on the docket, so do come ahead with your questions and comments. Love to hear from you on a variety of subjects. All you have to do is dial the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line. That's 724-438-4593. 724-438-4593. And if you had some problems getting through in hour number 1, well, you should not have any problems right now, because I'm looking at a wide open board. Do come ahead with your questions and comments. Anything and everything pertaining to the world of sports is fair game. I guess President Trump is saying that he's going to try and solve the problems in college athletics. Good luck with that. He's talking about an executive order to put things back the way they were, as he termed it, with name, image, likeness, and everything. That is going to wind up in the courts. I would love to see some rules put in place and different machinations for the way they handle name, image, likeness, but trying to put the genie back in the bottle, so to speak, after it's gotten out, I don't think is going to work. And we're sort of stuck with what we've got, but I would like to see some different rules put in place as far as name, image, likeness, and it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. But, yeah, he's talking about an executive order, which, if I were a betting man, I don't think will last very long, because it'll wind up, betting my bottom dollar on it, wind up in the courts and being contested in the courts. So we want to talk about that. The final weekend of the college basketball season, Penguins hockey, Steelers offseason, Pirates Grapefruit League play and spring training, all sorts of things to talk about. Pick up the phone. Give me a call. Don't leave me hanging, folks. Love to hear from you. The number again, call the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line, 724-438-4593. That number again, 724-438-4593. 4593. That's your ticket to conversation, and I'd love to hear from you. Locally, on the final weekend of the college basketball season, Pitt trying to get in to the ACC tournament needs a win today at Syracuse. The Panthers are 4-13 in the ACC, tied with Notre Dame and I believe Boston College. Pitt is 11-19 overall. Meanwhile, they're taking on Syracuse. The Orange are 15-15, 6-11 in the ACC. Pitt lost today, pretty much puts a kibosh on the season, and they won't be in the tournament because they will need both Notre Dame and Boston College to lose. And that might be tough to accomplish. Elsewhere, Duquesne wraps up their regular season at 2 p.m. today at home, hosting the Richmond Spiders. Richmond's 15-15 overall, 5-12 in the A-10. The Dukes 16-14 and 8-9 in the Atlantic 10. And of course, the Atlantic 10 tournament will start next week, and it's going to be played in Pittsburgh at PPG Paints Arena, paying homage to 50 years of the Atlantic 10. You will recall way, way back in the day when it was the Eastern 8. The tournament was played in Pittsburgh the first few years. So they're paying homage to their history. West Virginia finished their regular season last night with a 77-62 win over the University of Central Florida. Mountaineers 8-13 overall in Russ Hodges' first year, and they're 9-9. They finished the season 9-9 in the Big 12, getting ready for the Big 12 tournament next week. UCF finished the season 20-10 overall, and also 9-9 in the Big 12. And Penn State closes out their regular season at Rutgers tomorrow at noon. And that's a 12-18 Penn State team. They're 3-16 in the Big 10. Rutgers 12-18 overall and 5-14 in the Big 10. And let's not forget Robert Morris. They will be in the Horizon League Championship Tournament in Indianapolis. And the number 2 seed, Robert Morris, will face number 3 seed, Detroit Mercy, at 9 p.m. in Indianapolis. So that's what's going on locally with the local college teams here on the final weekend of the college basketball regular season before the tournaments get underway. Wide open board, folks. Your chance to get up on the soapbox. Love to hear from you. Do come ahead with your questions and comments. Anything and everything pertaining to the world of sports is fair game. Pick up the phone, dial the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line. The number to call, 724-438-4593. 724-438-4593. And anything and everything pertaining to the world of sports is fair game. Penguins, back-to-back games this weekend. Flyers today at PPG Paints Arena. The Bruins tomorrow. And the Pens are standing at 75 points in the Metropolitan Division, tied for second place with the New York Islanders, who also have 75 points. Carolina Hurricanes lead the division with 86. But without Crosby and now without Malkin, who will be suspended for that slash in the Buffalo game the other night for 5 games, Penguins have a multitude of games coming up after the Olympic break and a bunch of back-to-backs, starting with this one, of course, with the Flyers and then the Bruins. And they've got teams breathing right down their neck. The Islanders are tied with them. Columbus has 72 points, Washington 69, and the Flyers, who they're facing today, 67. So this is a really, really tough stretch coming up for the Penguins, and they're going to be minus 2 of their biggest stars. And Sidney Crosby, who was hurt in the Olympics and is out, and Evgeny Malkin, who had a meltdown the other night with that slash and is going to be lost to them for 5 games. So very, very important stretch coming up for the Penguins. Pirates spring training. They got the Red Sox tomorrow in spring training, and they're coming down the home stretch. We're closing in on the start of the season. World Baseball Classic is underway. Are you interested at all in the World Baseball Classic? I watched a little bit of it. It's good baseball. I caught Puerto Rico and Colombia last night. I intend to watch some more of the World Baseball Classic. I'm just wondering, does it catch your fancy at all? Are you interested in the World Baseball Classic? These teams are going at it for real, folks. This is not an exhibition by any stretch of the imagination. You're playing for your home countries and for your the pride of your home country. So they're going at it tooth and nail. It's going to be good baseball, and I enjoyed what I saw last night, and I intend to watch more of it. Are you planning on watching more of the World Baseball Classic? I had a caller in hour number 1 that said he really enjoyed it and plans to watch more of the World Baseball Classic. Is that something that's on your viewing card? I'd be interested in what you think about the World Baseball Classic. And, of course, the Steelers' offseason continues. Big trade in the division is going to be completed. Baltimore is going to send first-round picks in 26 and 27 to the Las Vegas Raiders for their great outside pass rusher, Max Crosby. That instantly makes the Baltimore defense better because pass rush was a problem for the Ravens last year, and that instantly improves Baltimore's defense with the pass rush coming from Crosby. What do you think about that deal? And does that put Baltimore back on top of the division looking ahead to next year? They still have some other areas they need to address, and they're going to need a healthy Lamar Jackson and healthy quarterback play, and they've got a new head coach, John Harbaugh, no longer in Baltimore. What do you think about that move? And, of course, the draft is coming up here in Pittsburgh. It'll be Thursday, October 23rd through Sunday, Thursday, April 23rd through Sunday, April 23rd in Pittsburgh. Your thoughts about the draft? We're going to talk about the draft prospects with Ray Fittipaldo of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, who was just at the Combine in Indianapolis. The Combine was held in Indianapolis for the college players from February 26th through March the 2nd. Ray Fittipaldo was out there watching it, and he'll have some thoughts on what transpired at the Combine, who the Steelers talked to, who they didn't talk to, and what their thinking may be, and how they fit in under the cap with free agency starting next week in the National Football League. Lots of things to talk about. Would love to hear from you. Those lines are open if you want to jump in. Call the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line, 724-438-4593. Once again, 724-438-4593. Your ticket to conversation. Well, I don't see a lot of movement there, so we're going to get a break in. And when we come back, one of my favorite guests, Steelers beat writer for the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, Ray Fittipaldo, will join me, talking NFL draft, Steelers offseason, NFL, all sorts of things coming up. Ray Fittipaldo joining me next, right here on the Sportsline, right after we pause for this timeout.
You can go to Big Box Medical Office.
Now serving number 3,943.
Or
Hi, come on in. How are you?
for personal, professional health care you can trust, see Dr. Paul Hardley and nurse practitioners Tara Bozak, Jessica Reckhart, and Stacy Morris, proudly serving our community for over 30 years. Need care today? Walk-ins are always welcome. For your primary care, call Dr. Paul Hartley at 724-437-1109 or visit ppcp.org.
Or serving number 3,940.
Laurel Highlands Wealth Advisory Group of Janie Montgomery Scott in Uniontown is a proud sponsor of Sportsline. When you work with Janie, it's about going beyond investing. It's about connecting your life and your finances in a way that makes sense for you. The team partners with you through each stage of life to help you set and reach your financial goals. To learn more about the Laurel Highlands Wealth Advisory Group at Janie, be sure to check out their website at www.lhwag.com. Laurel Highlands Wealth Advisory Group of Janie Montgomery Scott, LLC, member FINRA, NYSE, SIPC.
Chris Parker Jr., what's going on at Autoland Hyundai?
0% financing is back. How about 0% for 60 months on 2026 all-wheel drive Hyundai Tucsons and Santa Fe? Or HMF bonus cash up to $4,000 on Santa Fe Hybrid. The only thing lower than 0% are the below zero temperatures we've had.
You're right about that.
With great Hyundai financing, over 100 new Hyundais in stock, and affordable vehicles like the 2026 Venue Crossover and award-winning Elantra, it's easy to get away during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
Any leasing deals?
Lease a 26 Elantra SE for $199 per month, or 26 Kona SE Crossover for $219 a month. Just see us for details.
Plus Hyundai Assurance, America's best warranty, 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain protection, 5-year unlimited miles roadside assistance. Autoland Hyundai, 25 East Fayette Street, downtown Uniontown, or visit their website at AutolandHyundai.com.
And remember, you'll always pay less to drive the best at Autoland Hyundai.
NovaCare Rehabilitation in Uniontown is accessible for all of your recovery needs. New at NovaCare is pelvic floor physical therapy, a specialized program to treat patients with pelvic floor dysfunction related to bladder, bowel, sexual function, and pregnancy postpartum. These issues can affect both women and men and include urinary frequency, urgency and incontinence, pelvic pain, constipation, IBS, menopause, painful periods, and more. Call 724-437-0556 for an appointment in Uniontown. Personalize your care with NovaCare. In 1986, the Firestone Insurance Agency in Normalville was started with a promise to provide clients with truthful, friendly, and courteous service. It worked. With an expanded client base, the Firestone Insurance Agency's customers are now able to choose from over 20 well-known insurance companies. So whether it be auto, home, business, or life, Firestone has you covered, and the promise to provide truthful, friendly, and courteous service is still in place. As an independent insurance agency, the Firestone Insurance Agency works for you. They do the shopping for you to save you time and a bunch of needless phone calls. Because let's face it, no one loves to shop for insurance. Call the office at 724-455-3900 or visit firestoneinsurance.net. Can't make it to Normalville? Let the Firestone Insurance Agency bring service right to your kitchen table. The Firestone Insurance Agency, 724-455-3900 or firestoneinsurance.net. Doing what is right for the customer, finding the most affordable rates while making sure there are no coverage gaps so you are fully protected from the unforeseen.
Are delinquent credit cards, medical bills, and personal loans stressing you out? Are you unable to catch up? Are the debt collection calls just too much? If yes, then call Zebley Law at 724-439-9200. Zebley Law provides free in-person consultations. Then, using our decades of experience, we recommend a plan for relief. Before hiring a debt relief company or an out-of-town bankruptcy firm, call the local law firm serving Fayette, Washington, and Greene counties since 2001. Call Zebley Law at 724-439-9200.
Hi, this is TJ Watt, and you're listening to the Sportsline with George Von Benko on WMBS Radio.
And welcome back to the Sportsline. What a fortuitous bumper as we lead into some draft talk and Steeler offseason talk with Ray Fittipaldo of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. TJ Watt on the bumper, a perfect lead-in for Ray Fittipaldo because TJ Watt is on a lot of people's minds as we are in this offseason and what the Steelers may or may not do with him. Since we just had that bumper, let's start with TJ, Ray Fittipaldo. Are there any plans to, as a lot of people are pushing for, make a trade involving TJ Watt?
Yeah, I mean, listen, George, we just saw Max Crosby get dealt last night. The Ravens were able to get 2 first-round picks for Crosby. Now, listen, he's a couple years younger than T.J. Watt. He's coming off a better year than T.J. Watt. So the return wouldn't be that. But I have to tell you, I haven't heard anything from the Steelers that they are trying to trade T.J. Watt. The same goes with Jalen Ramsey. I think all their high-priced talent on defense, as of right now, is going to come back for the 2026 season.
And I think TJ would like to remain in Pittsburgh. Of course, the biggest thing for him is he'd like to win, but I think he's not dissatisfied staying with the Steelers.
No, I would agree with that. I think, listen, there was that well-publicized dry needling incident late in the season. I'm sure that ruffled some feathers within his camp. TJ put a good face on it. He kind of said it was, didn't place, any blame on anyone for that. But, other than that, George, I think he's been here since 2017. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Other players like him have been treated a certain way. They've been able to go out the way they want. And I think TJ, I think you're right. Ideally, in his mind, he would like to finish his career with the Steelers. Still a few years left on that contract, and I think obviously he'd like to get back to where he was a couple of seasons ago. I think do you think if he stays healthy that it is possible to return to some of those numbers? Yeah, I think so. I mean, listen, I think he's going to turn 32 this year, so he's not getting any younger. But I think the days of 22 sack seasons are behind him. But I don't think there's any reason he can't get back to getting 14, 15, 16 sacks this season.
Before we get into the nuts and bolts of the offseason and the draft, the report that is put out every year about facilities and the way things are handled at your facility as far as food and locker room facilities and the way they treat family and all that stuff was leaked. It wasn't supposed to be released, and it wasn't very good for the Steelers. What have you heard about that?
Yeah, well, listen, I think, George, you go to some of the games, the surface at Acrisure Stadium is not good. It's among the worst, if not the worst, in the NFL. There are reasons for that, and I'm not making excuses for the Steelers, but they share that field with Pitt. They stage high school football championship games on that field. So, that's part of the reason why that surface is so bad. They are taking steps to rectify it. We'll see if they get it right this time. And by the same vein, listen, that practice facility is outdated. It's 25 years old. They're trying to get out of there within the next couple of years. They're going to have to build a new state-of-the-art facility. I think that will rectify some of the, grades they're getting from players in terms of that. But I do have to tell you, George, if the Steelers are trying to sign, and this is perfect timing, if the Steelers are trying to sign an impact free agent, none of that stuff is going to impact whether they get it done or they don't get it done. Money always talks, and if they're the highest bidder, they're going to land that guy in free agency. So to a certain extent, some of that stuff is overblown.
So the 52-hour period for teams and representation for free agents begins on Monday for unrestricted free agents. And if they hammer out a new contract, that cannot be made official until the new league year begins at 4 p.m. on Wednesday. How do the Steelers fit in with cap space? Have they got money?
Almost $50 million, George. So they are in really good standing with the cap. As of right now, they don't have to restructure any contracts to create more money. They could, of course, do that down the road. But I would expect them to spend some money in free agency. I think they have to go out and get a receiver, whether that's via a trade or free agency. I think they have to do that. And I think you could also see them in the market for a defensive back. And depending on what happens with Isaac Seumalo and Kenneth Gainwell, I think you also might see them active at running back and offensive line as well.
Well, you mentioned two of their own free agents, Gainwell and Ciamalo. What's the rumbling about that? I think the Steelers would like to keep Gainwell, who was their MVP, and Aaron Rodgers spoke glowingly of him. But he may command some more bucks after that season he had.
Yeah, listen, I have to guess, and we'll find out early next week if I'm right. I'm guessing Gainwell, his market's going to be in that $7 to $8 million a year range. He's a third down back, but he's a really, really good third down back, and the Steelers used him almost as a 1A to Jaylen Warren. So there's a team out there that envisions a similar role for him. I think you could even see that go beyond $8 million, but I'm going to say between $7 and $8 million for him. And I think the Steelers will consider that. If Gainwell comes back to the Steelers and says, hey, this is the number, can you match it? We'll see if the Steelers want to match it. The other one's interesting. Ciamalo is going to turn 32. He's missed 7 games the last 2 seasons. He's injury-wise, it's a roll of the dice. It's a big risk. But when he's on the field, he's a good player. You just have to take the medical evaluation into the equation when you have to try to figure that out. So I think they'd probably like to sign Gainwell more. I think they could probably be happy to replace Ciamalo with another free agent, if they can. It's a decent guard market, so I think they'd be able to do that. But, between the two, I think Gainwell is probably the higher priority.
Who are the other Steeler unrestricted free agents that they might want to retain or they might want to cut loose, do you think?
Yeah, well, those are the big two. There are some others sprinkled throughout the roster, but I'm trying to think on the fly here, just going across the positions. Like Isaac.
Yeah, the defensive backs. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say defensive line. You have guys like Loudermilk and Dean Lowry who were injured last year. Defensive back-wise, I think they're pretty good, George. I think, Jalen Ramsey's under contract. Deshaun Elliott is under contract. Joey Porter, of course, under contract.
I think Pierre is one of those free agents, James Pierre.
Yeah, Pierre and Asante Samuel Jr.
Yeah.
And, he was around for half a season. And, Pierre played ahead of Asante Samuel Jr., when both were healthy last year. So I think they'll try to get Pierre done. He's a really good special teams player, and I don't think he's going to, command a lot of money. I don't think the Steelers or any other team view him as a starter, but he's a nice backup, and I think he proved that late last season.
Where does Patrick Queen fit into all this?
Yeah, 1 year left on the contract, pretty high cap hit. I think the cap hit is up around $17-18 million. So I think if they didn't want him on the team, George, they would have cut him by now. They just cut John Smith a couple of days ago, so it looks like Queen is going to be a part of the team as well. I think they'll be willing to absorb that contract. But yeah, he definitely was a guy who was in question after the season. I thought he improved in 2025 over his 2024 performance, but that's a tough position. Being able, having to play against the run and then cover against the pass, it's a tough job. And I think a lot of inside linebackers across the league are criticized this time of year, but I do think he's coming back.
You mentioned Jonnu Smith. That was a deal that just did not work out for the Steelers, I think.
No. Paid him decent money, too. I think they paid him $10 million last year. And, he had the great year with Miami the year before. 88 catches, 8 touchdowns. And he just wasn't able to get on the same page with Aaron Rodgers. The chemistry wasn't there, and I think that's the unknown part of free agency, right? Like you could see, okay, this guy produced here. We think we can create a similar environment for him in our place, but it never worked out for him. He only had 222 receiving yards, George, and only 2 touchdowns. So that acquisition, he was part of that Jalen Ramsey for Minka trade. That part of the acquisition did not turn out well for the Steelers.
And what it did, and I still think this was a mistake, it took playing time away from the guy, I think, who was their most dependable target, and that being Pat Freiermuth.
Oh, undoubtedly. And, I think some of that had to do with former offensive coordinator Arthur Smith. He became enamored of Darnell Washington. Jonnu Smith played for him in Tennessee and Atlanta, so there was some, favoritism there. I think that Arthur kind of wanted to get him involved, and let's be honest, it came at the expense of one of your highest-paid players. They're paying Pat Freiermuth $12 million a year, and they didn't get the production that a contract like that warrants last year. So I think Mike McCarthy will do a much better job of getting him infused into the offense. Obviously, they got to add a couple of weapons at receiver, but once they do that, I think you'll see Freiermuth's production go way up.
Now, the big question here in the offseason, and we haven't touched on it yet, what is your thoughts regarding Aaron Rodgers returning?
Yeah, listen, the Steelers, I think we're expecting an answer before free agency. The clock is ticking. So, we got about 48 hours or so until the legal tampering period starts. So that's maybe an unforeseen issue that the Steelers might have to deal with. I still think he's coming back. I watched him the other day on the McAfee show. He didn't really give a lot of answers, kind of muddied the waters probably more than he had to, but I do think he'll come back. Obviously, if he doesn't, that really throws a curveball to your off season. But I think if he does tell them, no, I'm going to retire, I think they'll deal with that at that point. At this point, I think they're operating under the assumption that he's coming back in 2026.
Hypothetically, if he tells them he's going to retire, quarterback market, it's interesting. Might they go in that direction, and do they have the wherewithal to do that?
Well, they would have the wherewithal. The top free agent is Malik Willis, and I think he's overpriced. If he gets the Justin Fields contract, 2 years, $40 million, I think that's too much. But the way free agency works. The price is the price. He doesn't set it. The teams out there set the price. So he would be one option. I'm not a big fan of his. There are others out there. Kyler Murray, I'm not a big fan of his. I think if Rodgers didn't come back, a guy like Jacoby Brissett, who was with the Cardinals last year, might make a little bit of sense. There are some other veterans, but if that happened, I think it would be a great opportunity to maybe run it through Mason Rudolph and Will Howard in 2026. If it goes badly, listen, that's okay. Then you're in pole position to get one of those very, very good quarterbacks who's expected to come out in the 2027 draft.
You mentioned Will Howard. His name keeps coming up, and they are always saying good things about Will Howard.
Yeah, and it's not just the coaches or the front office people. Aaron Rodgers, I think we all agree, one of the best quarterbacks in the history of the NFL, sees a lot of potential in this guy, and I think that's important. Aaron said that during the season, but he doubled down on it again on the McAfee show. Listen, this is a big 6'4", 230-pound quarterback. When Omar Khan talks about the AFC North quarterback, Will Howard would fit that mold. I think he can play in cold weather. He's a Pennsylvania kid, played at Ohio State. He's mobile enough. He's not gonna be Lamar Jackson, but he's mobile enough. The question is, can he make all the throws? I think that's what we have to see out of him. There's a reason he fell to the 6th round, and we have to see that in games. If he can perform in games, maybe at some point down the road, they'll give him a shot.
We're talking Steelers football, and we're going to get into the NFL draft, which is coming up April 23rd through the 25th right here in Pittsburgh. And we got Ray Fittipaldo on the line from the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. You were at the Combine in Indianapolis, which ran February 26th through March the 2nd. The Combine is always interesting, and sometimes you can glean some stuff by who people talk to. I know you were keeping an eye on the Steelers. Who were some of the guys you think that they showed a real interest in?
I don't remember the exact numbers, George, but they get 45 formal interviews out there. I want to say like 15 or 17 were with receivers. So obviously, it wasn't just, people like me speculating about that. They are definitely in the market of drafting a receiver early, I think, in the draft. And then they also interviewed a lot of safeties and corners. It's a really good safety class at the top. Like the three guys who were expected to go in the first round are really, really good players. And I think a lot of people around here are talking about if they draft a defensive back in the first round, it'll be a corner. That might be true, but safety is always good. It's not a great class for corners. It's a good class for corners. So that's also a position they might draft in the first round as well. So what are we now, like 6 weeks away from the draft? If I had to bet right now, I think it'd be a receiver, a corner, or a safety in the first round.
Do they like the class of wide receivers?
Yeah, and not only is it good at the top, George. There's 4 or 5 guys who are probably considered first-round picks. It's very deep, too. There's probably 15 to 18 guys who are going to go in the top 3 rounds. So if for some reason they do want to go defensive back in the first round, they could certainly get a starter-capable player in round 2 or even round 3.
Okay. I was asked by some people what my shopping list would be for the draft. Naturally, everybody focuses on quarterback. I don't think, other than Mendoza, the kid from Indiana, that any of these quarterbacks, and this is what changed because everybody thought this was going to be a banner year for quarterbacks coming out, and it didn't work out that way. I don't think, other than Mendoza, my opinion, there is any other quarterback that I would say is first-round material. I don't know how you feel about it.
No, I agree with you, and the name that keeps coming up is Ty Simpson from Alabama. I would say he had a good year. It was his only year as a starter, and he played better in September and October than he did late in the season, which is I think that's going to be a real concern for NFL teams. When the games got tougher late in the year, he did not play as well. Now, people have tried to explain that away by saying Alabama's skill positions around him were not very good. That's fine, but when you're only a one-year starter and your season is kind of up and down, to me that's enough of a concern for me not to draft you in the first round. Now, listen, if the Steelers like everything else about him, if they think he's got the size and the arm strength, maybe if he's there in the second round, I could see that, but definitely not at number 21 in the first round.
So we get back to what they should. I'm pushing for a wide receiver because this has been a problem for 3 years now, wide receiver. They need another wide receiver. You think they may address it also in free agency?
I do. I mean, George, if you look at it right now, DK Metcalf is under contract. Adam Thielen retired. I don't think they're going to bring back Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Calvin Austin is a free agent. He's free to go elsewhere starting on Monday. And Roman Wilson is the only other player besides Metcalf who was under contract, and he was a healthy scratch.
That's not very much, Ray.
Yeah. Now, listen, you could say, oh, okay, well, we're going to re-sign Calvin Austin. You could say that, but that doesn't mean it's going to happen. So that's why I think they got to go out and get somebody. Romeo Doubs from Green Bay has been a popular choice. I advocated for that in a story that I wrote for Sunday's Post-Gazette. I could see something like that happening. He's one of these second-tier receivers. He's not like Alec Pierce, who's going to command $25-30 million. He'll probably get $12 to $15 million a year, and that's okay. That's number 2 money in the NFL. Sometimes you have to pay that price. So I think you could see them add a guy like that here in a couple of days.
So getting back to the draft, I still advocate for wide receiver. The scenario you paint that they could take a defensive back and then still get a wide receiver, that intrigues me a little bit. I didn't realize it was that deep. But they still now some of the other shopping lists. I still think they need to address the aging defensive line. I still think they need to look. One guy I didn't ask you about. What's the story with Jones, the tackle, who was injured last year?
Well, he had surgery a couple weeks after he got hurt in late November. So, the recovery timetable is not yet known. And, for a lot of things like knee injuries, George, you could say, he tore his ACL. It's going to be 6 to 9 months, and he'll be good to go by, X date. With neck surgery, it's a little bit more complicated. And, for obvious reasons, you don't want something catastrophic happening to these guys if you clear them to play. So, the good news is others have come back from this surgery, this injury. But as of right now, the Steelers do not know if he's going to be ready for training camp. And obviously, if they don't know if he'll be ready for training camp, that, puts the week one of the regular season in doubt as well. So, Dylan Cook played very well in his absence. He would be an option if Jones cannot come back this year. And then obviously I think if they find that out at some point this summer, late summer, they'll probably have to add a veteran to at least compete with Dylan Cook.
Well, and that throws that into the mix, I think, as far as the draft is concerned. Either depending on what happens with Jones and what happens with Ciamalo, they could go maybe a tackle or a guard at some point.
At some point, I'm not thinking early, but listen, they got Mason McCormick in the 4th round. He's a starter. That's really good value for a 4th-round pick. Like if Isaac Seumalo would leave, yeah, they would bring in another veteran for a year or two. But I could definitely see them drafting a guard with, they got 3 picks in the 3rd round, George. They got 2 in the 4th round. So with one of those 5 picks, late day 2, early day 3, I think you could see them address guard and or tackle. Certainly you would want a developmental tackle coming back into the fold if Broderick Jones cannot play.
So that was my shopping list. Did I miss anything, do you think?
No, I think you're really good. Obviously, if Patrick Queen comes back, you're not going to address inside linebacker. You got Peyton Wilson and Malik Harrison there. Tight end, I don't think you have to add anyone early. You might be in the market for like a day 3 tight end now just because you want to bring 4 to camp. But, I think you got all the shopping list is completed, George, and now it's up to Omar Khan to execute it.
So you do think that they might want to look more at that defense. So they got Harmon last year and they got Black, but the line, depending on what happens with some of the people that Loudermilk and other people, that line is getting older.
Yeah, so you're probably talking more depth guys, right?
Yes,
because Keanu Benton.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, Keanu Benton's under contract. Cam Hayward, Derek Harmon, obviously under contract. So you're set with starters. I don't think you'll see it early unless there's a really good player that they love. But, yeah, I think day 2, day 3, I think you could definitely see them add another defensive lineman at some point.
So it's going to be interesting. Things are really going to heat up next week, right?
Oh, yeah. The first couple contracts to come off the board are the big ones. I don't think the Steelers will make a big splash, but I think you could see them active and signing some guys, if not on Monday, on Tuesday or Wednesday.
I was interested by something you said right at the top of the show when we were talking about T.J. Watt. You mentioned T.J. Watt and Ramsey. You expect both of them to be back on the defense. A lot of people have been talking about Ramsey. What's the sense you get from the new staff and everything about his value to the Steelers?
Well, it's still an unknown because we haven't had a chance to talk to Mike McCarthy or his assistants yet. So a lot of this is just speculation. But the nice thing about Jalen Ramsey is he could play 3 different positions. He could play outside corner, inside corner, and safety. And he proved that last year. So that gives them a lot of flexibility in the draft. If they really like one of those top 3 safeties in the first round, they could draft that guy, and they could put Jalen Ramsey somewhere else. If they like a corner, like a slot corner in the second round, okay, that position is filled. Jalen, you're going to play safety. So there's some versatility there. I think they like that, and I think that makes their their off season a little bit easier.
I think you were in on the conversations with Omar Khan out in Indianapolis. Did he shed any light on Ramsey at all?
I can't remember specifically, but there was no indications at all that they would be thinking about, cutting him like, maybe the speculation was with John O. Smith. So I have not heard one thing about that this offseason, just a lot of speculation because of his cap number.
He did say defensively, you will still see the 3-4.
Yeah, Patrick Graham has experience running that defense. He was with Bill Belichick as a position coach in New England. He's run that defense on his own when he's been a defensive coordinator in this league. So, yeah, a lot of familiarity there, not only with a guy like Patrick Graham, but Mike McCarthy ran it in Green Bay for many, many years. You know this, George. Dom Capers was his DC for most of his tenure in Green Bay. So Mike is very familiar with it as well.
Ray, as always, a wealth of information. I appreciate your time. We'll be seeing more of each other, I'm sure, because things are going to start to heat up, and you'll start seeing me hanging around the building a little bit more, which I'm sure the Steelers won't be happy with. But in any case, I do appreciate it. It's going to be a very, very interesting, and we're just starting. We're just embarking on it. Interesting offseason, and even more interesting draft.
Yep, it should be fun, and I look forward to seeing you down at the facility, George.
All right. Take care, Ray. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Ray Fittipaldo of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. Really interesting stuff on the Steelers about the draft, about free agency. Free agency getting underway on Monday. We'll be back and wrap things up here on the Sportsline right after this.
Go to Ford of Uniontown and trade me in.
It's Dominic Carbone with Jessica Caringla with your 7-time President Award-winning Ford of Uniontown. Truck Month is on the horizon, and we're kicking this thing off with a bang. Running all the way to the end of March, and we're talking massive savings.
How massive?
Well, I'm glad you asked. Take up to $8,000 off select F-150s or $6,000 off with interest rates at 2.9 for 60 months, 3.9 for 72, and only 4.9 for 84 months.
And that's not all. We got deals on Super Duties, Mavericks, and Rangers. Just stop, click, or call for details. Here at Ford of Uniontown, our commitment is to make sure you have the best experience, not only buying a vehicle, but getting it serviced as well. That's why we offer online maintenance appointments and free pickup and delivery.
Your truck knows, shouldn't you? That's Ford of Uniontown on the hill across from Applebee. 724-425-5980 or FordofUniontown.com.
Price excludes taxes and transfer fees, must finance with Ford Credit, and not all buyers will qualify.
Unlock the energy at Live Casino Pittsburgh during the Spring ZDX giveaway. Play daily to earn entries toward our giveaway drawings on March 27th and 28th, where you could win a share of over $55,000 in prizes, or race away in a new 2026 Acura ZDX all-wheel drive EV. Get charged up for the Acura ZDX giveaway on March 27th and 28th, only at Live Casino Pittsburgh. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Looking for a fireplace? Koval Building Supply at 40 Monroe Avenue in Uniontown is more than your plumbing supply store. We specialize in fireplaces of all fuel types, such as gas, wood, pellet, and electric. We're now featuring Harmon pellet stoves from Forge and Flame, perfect for keeping your family warm and cozy. Call Koval today at 724-437-8824 or visit kovalsupply.com to start planning for the winter season. Koval Building Supply, everything you need to make your house feel like home.
People I trust, it's the place I go. Home, warehouse, where a house becomes a home.
March brings spring and home improvement season. Planning a home improvement project with your tax refund? Home Warehouse, a best in Fayette winner for home improvements and windows, is the place to go for all your home exterior needs. Warm weather means more outdoor living. Add value to your home with a new deck. Home Warehouse has a great selection of easy-to-maintain composite decking and vinyl railing, plus siding, shutters, windows and doors, roofing shingles, metal and rubber roofing, soffit and fascia, as well as flooring. So for selection, great prices, and hometown service, see Sandy and Donnie at Home Warehouse, Connellsville Street in Uniontown. They know how to make your house a happy home. Shop Monday through Friday, 8 to 4:30, Saturday, 8 to noon.
Home Warehouse, where a house becomes a home.
Ready to score big on your next home? Well, great news. Huge savings are waiting for you at Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon. From open floor plans perfect for game day parties to energy-efficient homes that will help you save money all season long, these homes are built to deliver. Don't wait on the sidelines. Make the winning play today and find the home that fits your family and lifestyle. Visit Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon at 4500 Route 51. Casey Sports Cafe, located at 243 South Mount Vernon Avenue in Uniontown and owned by the Vernon family, wants you to know they have new hours. Monday and Friday from 7 to 3, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday 7 to 7, and Saturday and Sunday 7 to 2. Come on into Casey's and check out their new menu ideas and entrees. They can also cater your next event. Whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, Casey's is the place to eat. Call 724-550-4126. Casey's, the best in Fayette County.
Hi, this is Penguins broadcaster Phil Bork, and you're listening to the Sportsline with George Von Benko on WMBS.
And that puts a capper on this edition of the Sportsline on Saturday morning. Hope you enjoyed the NFL draft talk and Steeler talk with Ray Fittipaldo of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. Interesting times coming up with the start of free agency next week. The draft just around the corner coming up April 23rd through the 25th here in Pittsburgh. Do not touch that dial. We've got some sports action coming up for you. The lone Fayette County team that is still going in the PIAA playoffs, the Geibel girls, will be hosting St. Joseph Catholic Academy in the PIAA playoffs. And the pregame show is coming up after the news here at the top of the hour. And I believe the tip-off for that game is slated for 1 p.m., if I'm not mistaken. St. Joe's Catholic and the Geibel girls. George Von Benko bidding you and yours a very, very pleasant good afternoon. The Sportsline has been brought to you this morning by my good buddy Tom Vernon and Casey Sports Cafe, located right here on South Mount Vernon Avenue in Uniontown, the Firestone Insurance Agency in Normalville, and by Bogies at Duck Hollow, now under new management. Come on out and enjoy fine dining. Phone 724-439-2150, located at 374 Duck Hollow Road in Uniontown. The news is coming up next from the CBS Radio Network on your local station, 590 AM and 101.1 FM, WMBS, Uniontown, Pennsylvania.